Here's what happened at the opening round of the FIA Motocross World Championship, the YPF MXGP of Argentina in Bariloche. MX2 Race 1, newcomer to the class, Yannis Racelis, took his first foxhole shot. Behind him, the number 1 defending champion, Simon Langenfelder. And the 47 of Carlos Racelis emerged in there as well. Sasha Kunin there, number 19, had a bit of work to do. He emerged in about 10th, but he quickly made his way through the field. He came from 5th to 4th with that pass on the 19 of Guillaume Perez, and then he quickly went to work on the Latvian Carlos Racelis as he moved into 3rd. All of this in the space of a lap. Meanwhile, Simon Langenfelder, just ahead of him, sensed the urgency from the Belgian and then went after Yannis Racelis, took over the lead on lap 6. From there, he was never headed. Racelis went to the outside of the back marker, Sasha Kunin went to the inside, and that was the pass for 2nd decided. Yannis Racelis stayed there until about 2 laps to go, though. Meanwhile, his brother Carlos was in the thick of it. Mathis Valland made that move for 5th as Carlos would drop down to 9th. In the latter stages of the race, Yannis Racelis here came under attack with 2 laps to go from Guillaume Perez, who made that move for 3rd, and on the final lap, Liam Everts made this move on Valerio Latta to take 7th after falling at the start in turn 1. Simon Langenfelder, the defending champion, got off to a flying start though with victory in race 1 from Sasha Kunin, Guillaume Perez, Yannis Racelis and Mathis Valland. Behind them, Camden McClellan, Liam Everts, Valerio Latta, Carlos Racelis and Jens Wolvort, rounding out your top 10. In the second MX2 race, this time it was Carlos Racelis who grabbed the foxhole shot. Up the inside, Sasha Kunin, bit of rough and tumble. It would get worse for him, for Jens Wolvort and Valerio Latta over the next jump. There was carnage as they all came into land. Around about now-ish, Valerio Latta landing on Wolvort, and then all of a sudden, the number 19 of Sasha Kunin was down and out. He would pick himself up, but he was pointing to an injured right knee. Meanwhile, Liam Everts led the way quite quickly. Carlos Racelis was behind him in 2nd. Perez there on the 99 3rd, finding his way past Simon Langenfelder. Langenfelder, though, on lap 4, made this audacious move to force the Spaniard wide as he took over 3rd. He stayed there for a couple of laps, went after the 47 of Carlos Racelis, who then went off track. That was an easy move in the end for the German. All of a sudden, he's into 2nd. And on lap 10, he went after Liam Everts. Thought he'd got the job done here. Everts had other ideas, but coming down the hill in the opposite direction, all of a sudden the Red Bull KTM did find his way past the Nissan Husqvarna on lap 10 of 16. And once he was there, it was plain sailing. Camden McClellan forced his way up the inside of Everts to take over 2nd, around about a lap later. But in the end, Simon Langenfelder victorious on his 100th Grand Prix appearance, taking his 10th Grand Prix victory. McClellan was 2nd in the race, Everts 3rd, Perez 4th. Carlos Racelis was 5th. The overall, though, Langenfelder, Perez, McClellan, 2 triumphs on the podium. Everts and Yannis Racelis in his first MX2 Grand Prix coming home in 5th. Langenfelder with the championship leader's red plate, even though he didn't score points in the qualifying race on Saturday. Perez and McClellan are 2nd and 3rd in the points chase. But it was a fantastic day for Simon Langenfelder here in Argentina. 2 triumphs with Perez 2nd, McClellan 3rd overall. Langenfelder, though, with the red plate as we head to round 2 in Andalusia.
It's my 100th GP. I feel like a veteran now. My 10th GP victory this weekend, so the numbers match quite good. So number 1 on the bike. So no, super happy. Made it happen when it counted, and yeah, now we just have 18 more to go.
The first running of the MXGP race kind of came to a clash between the 2 Honda riders around the outside, but it was Jeffrey Hurlings who got the foxhole shot ahead of his teammate Tom Viel. Around the outside, Andrea Adamo on the number 80 quickly burst into 2nd, but before the end of the lap, Tom Viel did find his way past as everybody else funneled through. Romain Febvre, Pauls Jonas had good starts. On the jump here at the start of the second lap is where Vial found his way past Andrea Adamo to move in a second. He would stay there for 3 laps before making an attack on his teammate, Jeffrey Hurlings, on lap 4. A couple of mistakes in quick succession, and all of a sudden Vial was there ready to pounce. Inside-outside combination. Jeffrey Hurlings didn't want to get involved and just sat back for the next 10, 11 laps. Lucas Koenen, he fell from 5th, didn't lose too much time, and was able to maintain that 5th place. Meanwhile, Romain Febvre got around the outside of Andrea Adamo as he moved into 3rd on lap 6. Adamo then fell. When he picked himself up, he came under attack from Lucas Koenen. Koenen then eventually passed him for 4th. That's where he would stay. Pauls Jonas would come home in 5th. Tim Geiser, after a big qualifying crash on Saturday, he started to work his way towards the front. That pass got him into 6th on Adamo. And then with 3-4 laps to go, Jeffrey Hurlings, outside-inside combination, same part of the racetrack, to find his way into the lead, passing his teammate Tom Vial. Race 1 belonged to Jeffrey Hurlings. From Tom Vial, Romain Febvre, Lucas Koenen and Pauls Jonas. And rounding out the top 10, we had Tim Geiser, Maxime Renault, Calvin Verlandren, Thibaut Benestant and Ruben Fernandez. The first MXGP Race 2 start came to a red flag because a rider, I think it was Alberto Ferrato, jumped the gates, and that gave other riders around him a disadvantage. And so by the end of the first lap, the red flag came out, and that was it. Everybody back to the gates in the way that they lined up. And when we got going at the second time of asking, it was Maxime Renault who swept through turn 1, bagged his first foxhole shot of the campaign, his 8th career, and behind him, all kinds of things went on. Pauls Jonas was in there, Ferrato, Jan Panzer, Jeremy Seewer in that second turn melee. Maxime Renault led, but not for long because Tom Vial got around the outside of him, took over the lead. Febvre was there in 3rd. Febvre then found his way past Renault to move into 2nd. Tom Vial would then stall, handing the lead to Romain Febvre. Maxime Renault was then in 2nd position. Tom Vial was in 3rd. Geiser in 4th. Hurlings up the inside. Moved the fellow 5-time champ aside as he took over that 4th place. He then went after Tom Vial, his teammate. Outbraked the Frenchman, and he moved into that 3rd place. He was awarded 2nd when Maxime Renault fell at the bottom of the hill here. He then had clear track to go after a disappearing Romain Febvre, who was now around about 6 or 7 seconds clear. Geiser found his way past Tom Vial in the latter stages of the race to move into 3rd. That's where he would finish. So things did get better for Geiser as the weekend went on. But look at this, 3 laps to go. A few corners before the 2-lap board. Febvre under pressure from Jeffrey Hurlings. He seized this opportunity with both hands, took over the lead on lap 14 of 16, and from there, he was never headed. Jeffrey Hurlings going 1-1 here this weekend. Didn't score points in the qualifying race on Saturday, but his 50 points give him the overall Grand Prix victory and the overall points lead in the championship. That's how it finished here. Hurlings, Febvre and Vial. Geiser, Lucas Koenen rounding out your top 5 overall. Hurlings leads away, tied though with Tom Vial. Romain Febvre just 2 points further back in 3rd in the championship standings. For Jeffrey Hurlings though, a 1-1 here, his 113th Grand Prix victory, his 3rd success in Argentina, his 1st for his new Honda HRC Petronas racing team. He takes the red plate to Andalusia in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, yesterday we had a small problem after my crash on the bike, but yeah, because of my crash, so things like this happen, but it was very unfortunate. But today, luckily we could go 1-1, so I'm very pleased with my day. First motor was a bit more easy than second motor. Second motor, I had to really work for that one to pass all the good guys, but managed to make it happen now. Looking forward to the next one.